What if America never became one nation? What if in 1865 the South didn't fall, but triumphed? No surrender at Appomattox, no Lincoln's vision of reunion. Instead, two Americas, one industrial and free, the other agrarian and enslaved. This is Axis of Maybe, and today we step into the dangerous, divided world where the Confederacy won the Civil War. In this timeline, 1864 is the turning point. The Union war effort is faltering, casualties are sky high. Sherman's march to the sea stalls in Georgia, while Southern generals like Lee and Johnston seize the moment to push into Northern territory. Northern cities like Harrisburg and even Philadelphia are threatened. Public morale collapses. Abraham Lincoln narrowly loses re-election to George McClellan, who campaigned on peace with the South. By spring 1865, a treaty is signed. The Confederate States of America are recognized as an independent nation. Slavery remains legal. The Union, broken, bitter, and humiliated, withdraws into itself. The American experiment shatters. With independence secured, the CSA doubles down. Slavery expands westward into Texas, Oklahoma, and possibly even Mexico. Its economy becomes a patchwork of plantations, cotton barons, and brutal exploitation. In the North, the USA is forced to reckon with defeat. Industrialization intensifies. Immigrants flood cities like New York, Chicago, and Boston. The economy rebounds, but so does nationalism. Children grow up learning that the South is not just another region, but the enemy. Border states become war zones of ideology. Kentucky, Missouri, even Maryland, all torn between Unionist and Confederate sympathies. Espionage, assassinations, raids, the American border becomes a flashpoint for the next century. And for the millions still enslaved in the South, hope comes in whispers. Escape routes move through Ohio and Illinois, across guarded borders. Entire northern towns quietly fund abolitionist operations, smuggling families out at night. The Underground Railroad becomes an international resistance movement. The global dominoes fall fast. In Europe, Britain and France maintain ties with the CSA, more for cotton than morals, but their alliance with a slave state tarnishes their reputations. When World War I erupts, the United States joins the Allies. The Confederacy stays out, selling resources to both sides and growing wealthy in the short term. But by the end of the war, it's clear. The USA is the rising industrial power, while the CSA remains stuck in the 19th century. Then comes World War II. Without a unified America, Hitler faces divided resistance. The CSA refuses to fight alongside the Northern Devils. Roosevelt struggles to mobilize a war effort without the Southern states' manpower or resources. It takes longer to defeat the Nazis. More lives are lost. And in the aftermath, the Cold War isn't just East versus West. It's North versus South too. The Soviet Union eyes the fractured continent, supporting communist revolts in Latin America while trying to manipulate both American states. In the North, the civil rights movement is born, but with far more urgency. Refugees from the CSA pour into cities, telling horrifying stories of whippings, lynchings, and apartheid laws. The USA abolishes any trace of segregation by the 1950s and becomes a beacon of progress. The Confederacy, it hardens. Jim Crow becomes the law of the land, not just socially but constitutionally. Black Southerners live under total surveillance. Education is censored. Resistance is met with death. International media begins to compare the CSA to apartheid South Africa or even Nazi Germany. And eventually, with pressure mounting, rebellions begin. Cities like Atlanta and Birmingham turn into battlegrounds. The Confederate government responds with force. Martial law, executions, and secret police. A second civil war becomes inevitable. By 2025, the world views the two Americas as opposites. The USA is a global superpower, tech-driven, democratic, multicultural. The CSA is a militarized backwater, isolated, paranoid, clinging to an outdated past. The two nations engage in cyber warfare, propaganda, and Cold War-style brinkmanship. And both sides have nukes. Tourism between the countries is non-existent. Trade is minimal. Families on either side of the border haven't seen each other in generations. History textbooks in the CSA still call Lincoln a tyrant. In the USA, school children learn about the Confederacy as a tragic mistake, one that should never have been allowed to survive. A Confederate victory wouldn't have meant freedom. It would have meant fear, fracture, and fire. A world forever haunted by what could have been, if the Civil War had ended the wrong way. This is Axis of Maybe. If you're fascinated by the road not taken, hit that subscribe button and let me know, what alt history should we explore next? Until next time, stay curious.